So as you can see, now the ignition is in on position, and as you can see, ignition is on. And also you might be able to see that the immobilizer is activated, so the car cannot be started. And now I'm going to turn the ignition key to off position and remove the key completely off the ignition, and look at the vehicle, it's doing like so. The key is here and the immobilizer is activated. Hello and welcome to our channel again. Today we have a very nice car, which is a Smart Fortwo micro hybrid 2009, I think, and the chassis series is WME 451380, which is going to be 1 liter and it's going to be 52 kilowatt. So the vehicle has come with this problem, so I'm going to show you here. So as you can see, now the ignition is in on position, and as you can see, ignition is on. And also you might be able to see that the immobilizer is activated, so the car cannot be started. And now I'm going to turn the ignition key to off position and remove the key completely off the ignition, and look at the vehicle, it's doing like so. The key is here and the immobilizer is activated, and also as you can see, no key in the ignition, but ignition is on. So if I press the brake pedal, this is the action. Sometime on the gear selection position, it shows dots, and sometimes, as you can see, but most of the time the immobilizer sign is showing. And as you can see, no key in the ignition. And also, if you can hear here, just let me, and the some module is clicking, there is something activating and deactivating. You might be able to see that here. You might be able to hear, but won't be able to see that properly. Okay, now I'm going to put the key into the ignition switch, and now I'm going to turn that, and as you can see, no difference. So I'm going to try start the engine, but it cannot be started. So let's scan the vehicle and see what the problem is. It's in on position, so I have completely removed the key, and as you can see, and this is the key. Look, So let's scan the vehicle and see what the scanner is telling us. Okay, as you can see, no ignition key in the ignition switch. So let's scan the vehicle. Okay, we got fault in the starter generator squab, and these are the fault code. Communication with control unit transmission has a malfunction. Communication with control unit combustion engine has malfunction. So, and let's check the instrument cluster. So no or incorrect CAN message from control unit in N2/7, which is a restraint system control unit. No or incorrect CAN message from control unit N47-5 ESP control unit. CAN bus off, and no or incorrect CAN message from control unit N15/6. So sprint shift control module, and I want to mention that, as you can see, the ignition key is out of the ignition switch and the ignition is on, the mobilizer is activated. So these are the fault code which is stored in the instrument cluster. So let's check the SAM module. This is fault codes which are stored in the SAM module. As you can see, B1731 immobilizer communication fault, immobilizer counter overflow, CAN bus off, the terminal 15 signal on the CAN bus is missing or is faulty. So, and this is the engine control module, and as you can see, so speed sensor 1 has malfunction, open circuit or signal path, rope road detection, drivetrain CAN bus off fault, ignore fault. And let's check the transmission control unit. This is the transmission control unit, and it says speed of drive axle value are implausible, speed of non-drive axle values are implausible. So no or incorrect CAN message from control unit N47-5 ESP control unit. And also, as you can see, I have connected the breakout box, and these are the CAN bus high, and this is the CAN bus low, and this number 8 is the lean signal which is activated, which are activated, and they are functioning right now, as you can see. And these two are green small light is for the chassis ground down, signal ground. So, but In spite of that, for a while I was here when since I'm explaining, I have been explaining to you the diagnosing procedure, but as you can see, the glass star panel is still illuminated, so it means that the ignition stays on, and as you can see, and there is constant activity on the gearbox, so it means that the vehicle is going to drain the battery till morning if we leave the vehicle like so. And also one time I'm going to try to start the vehicle if I can. So put the ignition key in ignition switch, so on, brake pedal applied, and no, as you can see, so this is on start position. I'm not starting. It's going to be normal. It's obvious it will not start because as you can see, the gear position is not clear where the gear position is, or where the gear selector lever position is because the some control module cannot detect the position of the gear selector lever, or the engine control module, both. They cannot detect the position of the gear, whether it's in R, P, or in N. If I go to the N129 or the starter alternator live data, so I cannot find anything here. Just let me check if I can find here something. Okay, as you can see, I'm going to select this three. Okay, this is going to be ignition terminal 15. This is the condition where the ignition key is on engine run position, and this is the terminal where you move the ignition key to this position, and it's going to engage the starter alternator, and that will start the engine. And this is the terminal 30, which is all the time live. So I'm going to check that. So I'm going to remove the ignition key completely, and as you can see, the engine is the ignition is still on, and here it shows that the terminal 15 is on, terminal 30 voltage is 12.47, something like. Terminal 50 output starter activation is off. So I'm going to show you that if I put the ignition key into the ignition switch, and I'm going to move that, now it's on this position, ignition terminal 15. So now I'm going to move the key to terminal 50 position. So 1, 2, 3, and it started. It started because it started. But let me turn that off again. I'm going to turn this. I'm going to turn the engine off again. Move the key out. And look, immobilizer is activated. And the ignition is on. Look. And now I'm going to put that key again in. So as you can see, starter motor terminal 50 is activated, but nothing is going to happen. So just okay now. I lost the N opportunity which was on the dashboard. So let's see if that for as long as the N sign is on the dashboard, the engine can be started, but you have to be quick, because after 2-3 seconds the immobilizer is going to be activated. Okay, let me turn this off. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 modules are involved making this problem. So now what do you think, which module is going to be that trigger the ignition on? Excuse me. Whether it's not going to be the starter, it's not going to be the IC, I'm going to tell you, but maybe SAM, maybe MESFI, or the motor electronic, or the ECU module, or maybe the transmission control module that triggers the ignition to on. So what we are going to do, and also as you can see here, we have CAN signal here. Let me show you the CAN signal on the scanner as well. Okay, as you can see, we got the CAN low signal, but as you can see, this is not going to be, I'm not sure whether so. Hold on. Okay, as you can see, when I decrease the time, and we got this type of signal. So this is the CAN low voltage or CAN low signal, and the CAN high signal is unfortunately flat. That means that's going to be shorted to ground somewhere. So the next step is that we are going to disconnect those modules one by one, which is the starter motor and alternator module, instrument cluster module, SAM module, electronic control module, and transmission control module. You can disconnect this module by removing each module connector, but I'm going to show you another best and easy way which will work very well. I'm going to locate each module's power supply fuse, and I'm going to remove that fuse one by one and leave the ignition to off position until this turns off, or you watch this signal. Okay, this is the fuse box which is located in the passenger compartment in the fascia, whatever you call it. So we are going to start first, remove the fuse, this one, number one, and this is going to be this fuse, and see if the CAN signal can be restored. So secondly, we are going what that is doing. So we are going to remove the automated manual transmission control unit fuse, which is fuse number 30, and that's going to be here somewhere. It's this one. So if again we didn't see any changes, then we are going to remove this fuse, which is ESP control unit. This time because I cleared the fault codes, and because as you saw last time we didn't have fault code for this one, but anyway, and then look for the, so anyway I'm going to remove this module fuse, 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 and just 1 second. If I turn the ignition off and scan this one again, see where Okay. We are going to remove this module fuse, this module fuse, this module fuse, this and that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 modules. This one. So all fuses are here. You might be able to see that. That's here. So I won't be able to record removing every fuse, but anyway, if I got the positive result from the module which changed this condition, and I'm going to tell you that which module is going to be that, in case we were successful. And also with the ignition key off, key removed, and the CAN system still has activity. Okay, I removed fuse 1 for the starter motor, but no changes. And also I removed for fuse 12, this is 12, for instrument cluster, no changes. Sam didn't have any fuse, I couldn't find that. So there is just one big fuse, which is the mains flight. I did not remove that. And the engine ECU also I didn't touch that. Then I removed the transmission control module fuse number 30, and it did not bring any change. Then I removed fuse 11 for ESP, which is the EBS module. Then I removed transmission control module fuse 30, and after that I removed the ESP or electronic stability program, or the EBS module fuse, which is 11. It did not change, it did not bring any change. But when I remove fuse 34, this one, for the same module, this one, and this is the problem, the CAN network has gone completely to sleep mode. So if I connect this fuse back, and as you can see, no key in the ignition switch. If I connect this one back, if I put the fuse back in, so just hold on. My God, let me. And look, the CAN activity has started, and the engine and the ignition key, the ignition switch is on, and the immobilizer is activated. So I'm going to remove this fuse, and you watch this activity. I'm going to just hold on. Okay, now I'm going to disconnect this fuse and you watch the can activity. You are going to wait. I have removed the fuse. It's here, and see if the can goes to sleep. If the can network goes to sleep. Okay, as you can see, can network or can activity has gone to sleep mode, and also this one is off right now. This one is off right now. Now I'm going to turn the ignition on. So let me show you this one too. So as you can see, ignition is off. I'm going to turn that to on position. And why one activity, or maybe this one also needs. And if I now, as you can see, N is registered, and now I'm going to start. Engine is running. But not, but why? Okay, just I think. Okay, I apologize for that. Instead of channel 2, I should have turned that on, but instead of that I left the channel 3 on this one, which was not connected here. So anyway, the CAN signal is back restored, but now if I turn that off, so now I'm going to turn the ignition off, and I'm going to wait and see what time the can is going to go to sleep mode. Okay, as you can see, the car network has gone to sleep mode. So because previously the which one is that, can high was not connected to the breakout box. So now I'm going to put that fuse back in, and I'm going to show you the activity of the CAN network with ignition switch and off position. So let's do that here. Just hold on a moment. If I can do that. I'm going to put the camera down. Okay, I'm going to use my both hand and put that fuse in, and you watch, and still the ignition switch is off. Okay, as you can see, the fuse is now on, and look, and this is the car network activity back on. I'm not sure. I'm going to decrease the time base little bit more and see. No, this is too. And this is the activity, and still the ignition is off, key is out. So let me show you. Okay, okay, now I'm going to remove the fuse again, and you watch if the structure of the signal can be changed. Okay, I have removed the fuse, and see the signal. I think the signal structure hasn't changed. Now the fuse is removed, ignition switch is off, ignition key is removed from the ignition switch, and now I'm going to connect to put the fuse back on and see. Okay, fuse is back on. Fuse is back on, and this is the. So now I'm going to remove that back. I'm going to remove the fuse again. Okay, now so see, let me see that. Okay, how is yeah, that's fine. This, let me freeze that and put the cursor. Okay, cursor 1, the lowest is 1 volt, and cursor 2, the highest is 3.67. so from 2.5 to 2.4, that's okay, that's all right, and the other is okay. This is all right, but I think the only problem was that the AESP module, or the EBS control module, was triggering the ignition key on, and it was also it was also keeping the gearbox motors, which is for the gear shifting up and down, active as well. So now we are going to change the ESP or EBS module, and this is going to fix the problem. So once again, so let me go to live, and this is live. As you can see now, the network is in sleep mode. So and I'm going to turn the, and also once again I need to show you that the ignition is off completely. So okay, as you can see, network is on sleep mode, and now I'm going to put the key on. Key is on. Now I'm going to, so key is on and the ignition is off, and as you can see, no power is reaching to the instrument cluster. So now I'm going to turn that on. Power reaches. We still have problem, because that could be because of the fault code that we have, and variety of modules, and also the CAN network is now good, clear. And also, as you can see, we got N mark or sign or on the dashboard as well, on the instrument cluster. So now I'm going to start the vehicle. Vehicle started. Vehicle started. And now I'm going to turn the ignition off, engine off, and that one has gone off. So ignition on, vehicle started, ignition off, ignition on, ignition off, ignition on. So I think that's going to be the cause of the malfunction or the fault. Okay, now let's see another thing. So let's clear full code and see what's it. So okay, switch ignition off, yes. Okay. Okay, ignition on. Okay. Look. Fault codes are completely cleared. So now I'm going to cycle the ignition key a few times. Cycle the ignition key a few times. So now start the engine. Scan the vehicle again. Because the ESP is powerless, there is no power going to the ESP because I have removed the fuse of the ESP. So let me see what's here. It says under voltage of pump motor. It means that there is no power fault and can communication with control unit N156. Yeah, that's because they previously the ESP was sending the wrong signal through the CAN network. So let's see it says that ignore this fault code. Anyway, we are going to ignore that. So once I have replaced the EBS module or the ESP module, I'm going to update you with that as well. So right now, thanks for watching. Okay. Welcome back. I have replaced the ESP and EBS control module, but unfortunately it didn't fix the problem. And also I have tried this one. This is N15/6 here in the UK and in the United Kingdom, in the United States. It's N15/5, and still the reason I replaced this one, this is the transmission control module, or N15/6, and that's the yaw rate sensor or yaw rate accelerator, whatever you call it, sensor. And we still got tons of fault code, and also there are 9s in the N15/6. Let me turn this off and look. And the problem is still there. I also disconnected this one in case the CAN network is not working properly. Disconnected that one as well, N10/10. Disconnected the IC or instrument cluster, and disconnect the engine ECU. Unfortunately, did not fix anything. So this and with everything I was replacing, so I didn't buy this because that was all were here with me, and the same fault code were showing, and the reason first when I replaced the ESP or EBS pump, because whenever I was removing this 40 amp, the middle one, and the problem went off, so I thought that's going to be the ABS pump and ESP module sending the wrong signal, or shorting together or something, whatever. So when I replaced that, unfortunately it didn't change. And also I disconnected wiring from this gear selector module, and disconnected that one and the engine control unit, transmission control unit, but nothing was changing. And as you can see, I still haven't put this in place. It's connected but not in place, and as you can see, the ignition key is off, and also not the key is not in ignition switch, and we got everything on. And you know what the problem was? After this all work, and let me show you what the problem was. Let me show you what the problem was. Look, whoever installed this dash cam live wire or positive wire here, and I think the dash camera has created a malfunction circuit inside, and that was causing the ignition to stay all the time on. With the wire disconnected, ignition to off position, so I'm going to bring ignition to position 1 and look, off, nothing. And that also causes the transmission. Now the vehicle started, and if I turn that off, nothing is happening. But as soon as if I connect this one to the wire, let me show you from there. So ignition is off right now, and that's in off position. So if I touch this one here, and look, and this is also off. Look, if I remove that, and so look, so to get to the conclusion, so whenever you got this type of problem and the customer is complaining, I got this type of problem, first thing, to avoid all this mess I have done, like I have done, and to save your time, first of all, you check the thing that's aftermarket rubbish installed onto the vehicle, whether it's a parking sensor, dash camera, amplifier, new CD or whatever. So just first thing to avoid wasting your time and doing that much job for not being paid. So first thing is to check whatever is installed aftermarket. Okay, when this wire was here, look at the job they have done, very rubbish. And look at it, yeah. So as you can see, this is off, key is out, and here, look at that. And the immobilizer is on. Let me and the engine will not start. Off. Now the ignition gets on again. The ignition turns on again. This is the problem, that now the gear position was not registering, and as the engine is running, if I turn the ignition off, and as you can see now the ignition is off, and look, and this is the problem. So if I remove that nasty, look, now it's going to take a while for the gearbox control module to register the gear position into the instrument cluster. Yeah, start, engine started, engine off, ignition on, start, ignition off. Look, and that nasty wire is here. Okay, thanks for watching. I'm going to put everything back together. This all things has to be in place again.